Today, we're visiting 3 of the most remote islands on Earth, the Faroe Islands. But this is not a normal island. Next, we're travelling to Socotra in Yemen, an island that hardly feels like Earth at all, as if its landscape belongs to another planet entirely. It's home to some of the rarest plants on Earth, including the iconic dragon's blood tree. An isolation imposed by geography and politics, not only by sea. And in the end, we head to the most remote inhabited island in the world. St. Helena, an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean that became a natural prison. No neighbouring countries, no roads leading to it, and no escape. 500 years of isolation. Flights to the island opened in 2017. Its isolation was broken by just 1 flight per week. We begin here. Welcome to the Faroe Islands. In the heart of the North Atlantic, between Iceland and Norway, lie the Faroe Islands, a small archipelago of 18 islands. Cut off from the wider world, home to just about 50,000 people. Across the islands, you'll find tiny villages like this one. How many people do you think live here? Just 18. More than 70 meters beneath the ocean's surface, they built the world's first undersea roundabout. There are 25 tunnels in total, 4 under the sea and the rest carved through mountains. The first tunnel was built in the 1960s, and the longest stretches nearly 11 kilometers. Hello guys, we've arrived on the island. This is the first waterfall, right next to the airport. Welcome to the Faroe Islands. She lives here, on the edge of the world. What are you doing here? I'm enjoying nature. I go hiking in the mountains every day. This is the town.
Even though the Faroe Islands are small, they've achieved things many larger countries haven't.
They built the world's first undersea roundabout inside a tunnel. We're under the water.
Look, it splits right and left. We're going out to see the roundabout underwater.
Imagine that. For only 50,000 people, they built this large number of tunnels. We're beneath the ocean.
These are not just road networks. They are engineering landmarks within nature.
From isolated islands to one of the most developed road networks in Europe. And now we have entered the Viking town.
They say this is one of the oldest Viking villages in the world. The local language is derived from Old Norse. Their customs and way of life still carry the spirit of the Old North. Even the name Faroe means sheep islands. This is the prison, but it doesn't look like what we're used to seeing. No watchtowers, no barbed wire, no high walls. Prisoners accused of serious crimes are sent to Denmark. This is the largest lake in the Faroe Islands. A lake above the ocean. How amazing! And now we'll see how the island's residents live. This is a small village called Sandavaga. And this is my house, a traditional Faroese house. We're going this way to see my horses. Oh, you have horses? Icelandic horses. You guys living in a bliss. Yes, we do. They call it the last paradise on Earth. kind of isolated, but we still have an airline and ships going to Denmark. They came to you, to know you. They know my voice, and they come right away. Her name is Klashba, and the other one is called Sarah. Can I touch her? This is how they live in the Faroe Islands. More than 90% of their income comes from fish. If we didn't have the fishing industry, we wouldn't be here. Your ancestors are from Vikings. That's right. And from Celtic people in Scotland and Ireland. 1,000 years ago, they went to Iceland, Greenland, and eventually Canada. 1,000 years ago, these islands were a Viking stop on their route, and today they still preserve their calm and isolation. I like the peace. I like the weather. I like nature. I would never go to a big city. I think we are unique. I really like telling people we're only 55,000 people. I think it's cool. When I tell people where I'm from, they always ask, "What? Where is that?" Even in Europe. I really like that I know everybody. Everyone knows each other. Big friend group. Are you planning on leaving or staying here forever? I don't know if I want to live here all my life.
Come visit Faroe Island. It's very beautiful in summer. This is a real Faroe family.
I'm not Danish. I'm Faroese, even though this country is part of Denmark. We don't feel attached to Denmark. We have our own flag, language, and national anthem. We have our own flag, language, and national anthem. This is the traditional clothing here in the Faroe Islands.
They truly love their language, their culture, and their country. They wear it on National Day and at weddings. So many layers to keep you warm, even in a dress, because it's always cold here. This is a traditional dance they're showing us. 2 steps left, 1 step right.
Look at the number of waterfalls here. Oh my God, that's a lot of waterfalls. They pay very high taxes, but education is free, healthcare is free, roads don't have a single pothole. There is no place on the islands more than 5 kilometers away from the ocean. You will always remain close to the ocean. Here, you can call the Prime Minister. His phone number is in the phone directory. Only 5 traffic lights in all the Faroe Islands. Even love has become difficult here. The girls leave abroad and the men stay to work in fishing. Surprisingly, Filipino women comprise the largest ethnic minority here, amid a shortage of local women. In the Faroe Islands, there are 2,000 more men than women. That's why they need women on the island. So many women come from abroad. Hundreds of Asian women are moving to these subarctic islands. So many women come from abroad. Hundreds of Asian women are moving to these subarctic islands. How did you meet? We first met online, then in Denmark, and then I came here. And now we'll move to the next island. An island outside of time. Socotra. It's separated geologically from Africa and the Arabian Peninsula more than 6 million years ago. More than 37% of Socotra's plants are extremely rare and grow nowhere else on Earth. Flights to this island are very limited. Usually 1 flight per week, sometimes 2. This is Socotra, the most beautiful island in the world. The license plate carries the number 1 and displays the dragon's blood tree.
Here is the eastern side of the island. We'll sleep here tonight, by the sea.
From the Faroe Islands to Socotra, this island belongs to an Arab country. We will camp on the beach because services here are very limited and isolation is part of life here. We woke up to this view in Socotra, on the sand dunes at the top with the ocean in front of you.
Look at this scene. White desert and blue sea, accumulated over millions of years. People sleep here because the capital has only 5 hotels. This is the capital, Hadibo.
This island is extraordinary and has wonders and many rare things. So rare that even the locals don't realize how unique it is. This area used to be called the Arabian Bermuda Triangle. This island used to be known as the Island of the Jinn because they believed islanders could control wind and sink ships.
But the truth is, it was never magic. This is where the Arabian Sea meets the Indian Ocean.
Powerful currents and violent whirlpools still challenge ships to this day. The magic lies in the nature found on this island. Miss Mona, how are you?
She speaks Arabic and Socotri. Is this your farm? Yes, this is my farm. Because the island's plants are endangered, Miss Mona began cultivating them. The people here speak Socotri, an ancient Semitic language.
It isn't written, only spoken. This is all traditional Socotri food, a proper Socotri feast, all fresh.
This is the traditional way dates are preserved in Socotra, inside a sheepskin, like a watermelon. How does it taste? Amazing. This is one of Socotra's old traditions.
This house is more than 200 years old. Hello, this is the homeowner. He hosted us.
Now it is time to see the rarest plants in the world. There it is. It is in bloom. I got to hug it. It's called the desert rose and also the bottle tree. This tree exists only in Socotra. It's called the bottle because it stores water inside this large trunk. There's water inside. And now this is the forest of the dragon's blood tree. This blood comes out of the tree. This is the only place in the world where this tree grows, the strangest and rarest in the world. We've come to Mr. Suleiman. He has a nursery here. He lives in the forest itself. You are preserving the dragon's blood tree, so it's endangered, but you are protecting it. This is the dragon's blood tree that looks like an umbrella, the same one that grows into a big tree. Those trees, how old are they? I don't know. They were already here. Thousands of years. Can I plant it in Jordan? No, it can only be planted here on the island. What's the reason? I don't know. So the biggest threat to the island is goats? Yes. Should we kill the goats? Of course not. Why do you care so much about preserving this tree? We preserve it simply because our lives are connected to this tree. Look at the blood. It releases blood. It looks like an umbrella, doesn't it? Protects from the sun.
I love it, like I love my children. Yes, this tree. I love you.
This tree is my source of income.
I live here just as our ancestors did, and as my children do now. How can we support you? No need. Thank you. Support him. Thank you, my dear people of Yemen. Its red resin has been used in medicine for thousands of years. This is Yemen's currency, and on it is a picture of one of Socotra's symbols. Right behind me are the two rarest trees in the world, the bottle tree and the dragon's blood tree. After we leave Socotra, we will not see this tree again, even if we travel the entire world. The population of Socotra is about 60,000 people living in isolation amid nature unlike anywhere else, but now they have Starlink. Joe Hattab is the most famous person on this island. How long have you lived in this cave? I grew up in this cave. Joe Hattab is the most famous person on this island. How long have you lived in this cave? I grew up in this cave. My ancestors lived here. They ate fish from the lagoon and seashells and oysters. I am now 64 years old.
I'm lighting a fire now. It's a safe island because there are no predators, so there's no crime. Here's a cup, a seashell. This is for me and this is for you. God bless you. Before social media and TikTok, nobody knew me. Every tourist who comes here must come to you. You fish from the sea and eat? Yes, this is your everyday view. Alhamdulillah. Socotra is not just a tourist destination. It's a time capsule that shows you how Earth might have been without human interference. And now to the farthest and most isolated island, located between South America and Africa in the far South Atlantic. It used to be a stop for British ships. Goods passed through it between India and Britain before the Suez Canal. When its role ended, it turned into a natural prison. After more than 5 centuries of isolation, flights opened in 2017. Its isolation was broken by just 1 flight per week. Flights only arrive from one destination, South Africa. The airport looks strange, as if it is carved into a rock. Welcome to St. Helena Island. We arrive here. You feel like we arrived on the moon, almost. Many of the airport employees have other jobs. They all gather here only on the day the plane arrives. The feeling of having an airport in St. Helena has been amazing. They had to create enough flat land to have the runway. In 2017, the first plane struggled to land, and the airport shut down for 2 full years due to high winds. Most of the island's residents live in a small town called Jamestown. There it is. That's Jamestown right behind me. One of the most isolated towns in the world, trapped between 2 mountains and located directly on the ocean. Trapped between 2 mountains and located directly on the ocean. The population of St. Helena is about 5,000 people. An island with its own currency. A currency with no value outside the island. This is what Jamestown looks like. The island is empty. Everyone greets each other. Everyone. Most of them know each other. Imagine that this island was a prison. In that direction is South America. In the other direction is Africa. We're in the middle. My goodness, what isolation! St. Helena is a British overseas territory administered by a governor appointed by Britain. The same administration includes another island even farther away, more isolated than St. Helena. It takes 15 days by ship to reach it. Night has fallen in Jamestown. Listen to the sound of birds. They have one of the rarest and most expensive coffee beans in the world. It has been grown the same way for more than 300 years and is exported to Britain. They have this ladder as a challenge for visitors. Everyone who comes to the island has to complete it. I'm getting closer. Let's go! Woohoo! It's the place Britain chose to exile the Emperor of France, Napoleon, the man who changed the map of Europe. He stayed in that room. This entire island was a prison because it's very isolated and very far from land. The British exiled him here in 1815. That is his graveyard, but it's empty because they moved his remains to Paris. Here, Napoleon was imprisoned. The most beautiful prison in the world. This place owes its fame to Napoleon. Prisoner number 1. This is the Festival of Walking. It's organized by tourism. Festival of Walk every Sunday. So you like the remoteness? Yeah, I like the remoteness. I like the quietness. One of my ancestors might be from Indonesia, but I have a mix of Briton, Indian, African. I'm a mix of everything. They have a championship here, but it's not football. They play cricket on this island. When anything happened on the island, everyone knows. So free. You don't have to rush from here to there. Just me and my family. This is the flag of St. Helena. South America is here, and behind us is Africa. This is life in St. Helena, in the middle of the ocean. Maybe the world sometimes needs to breathe away from the noise. Isolation can sometimes be a comfort, but it's not always the solution. Goodbye, St. Helena.